Making practice more exciting can be a bit of a challenge sometimes. Practice is never going to be exciting in the way that a roller coaster ride or whitewater rapids are, but I think you can make it much, much more engaging if you just think strategically about it. I think the main reason people get bored with practice is because often they're just noodling away at the instrument without a clear idea of what they're aiming for. So one thing that I try to do is, if I know that I have an hour to practice and I have certain things to practice in that time, I will split the hour up. So say I'll spend 10 minutes on my scales, 15 minutes on two pieces, 20 minutes, maybe practicing sight reading if I have a lot to get through. And then I will set a timer for each of those time periods. And I find sometimes just having a deadline, knowing that I have to get this scale sorted out before the 10-minute pinger goes off, that can be really helpful. It just adds a bit of pressure and helps focus the mind. The second thing I would recommend is being really, really clear about what you want to achieve and what the main problems or obstacles are. So if I'm practicing an E major scale, for example, and I'm a pianist, so those of you who play other instruments will have to translate this example into something that's more appropriate for you. But say I was doing E major and I kept getting the thumb turn wrong. So I kept, instead of going 1, 2, 3, 1 on my way up the keyboard, I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And that was somehow programmed into my hand and I couldn't fix it. I would make sure that I really zoomed in on that problem and that I didn't let myself practice my mistakes. So if I did play 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, I would stop immediately. I wouldn't carry on. And I would just keep going 1, 2, 3, 1, stop. 1, 2, 3, 1, and then gradually build it up. Now this sounds incredibly dull if you're not used to it, and it can often send your family and the people around you absolutely crazy. But it's a really efficient way of practicing. And once you get used to it, you will find that just really being really clear about what the problems are and then finding a really focused way of sorting them out means that you practice more efficiently, you will make quicker progress. And within that 10 minutes that I'm practicing on my scales, because I have a clear idea of what I want to achieve, when I do achieve that, I get that feeling of satisfaction. If you just sit there noodling away, it might be quite pleasant for the first 10-15 minutes. It will get a bit boring after that, and at the end of your practice session, you won't feel that you've achieved anything. So you'll be much less inclined to go back to the instrument again the next day. And you can translate this into a way to work with a piece, for example. If I'm doing some Clementi and I know that the left hand in this passage is always a bit approximate, then I might just practice that by itself again and again and really zoom down. If you keep tripping up over the same part, work out why. Is it because your fingering isn't quite right? Is it because your thumb is shooting out in that direction and it ought actually to be trying to move around a black key? These can be really, really tiny things, but making sure that you're focused will make your practice so much more efficient and so much more satisfying in the long run.